Hi, good afternoon, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. Another beautiful, lovely day that the Lord has made. We thank God for His greatness. We thank God for the love that He has for us. We have our part two of how we can take care of ourselves during this festive season. It is the time that our children have closed to school, and at the same time, most of the parents are now packing, maybe going to the rural areas because they also have holidays. Yeah, most of our children have closed, and some of the parents who are just doing their own jobs, who have are their own bosses, who have employed themselves, may be thinking or planning now to take their children to the rural areas and also to have holidays during this time together with their children. So some tips here that you can use to make sure that you are safe in the rural areas. Mostly we find that in the rural areas there's more safety because you have a very bigger space for your children to be walking around and playing around. But remember one thing, that your children are not always at home, so mostly they don't know most of the things happening around. So try to engage a talk with the people who stay around in the rural areas, who stay around in the village just where you were born, and find out the dangers around. You see, some things that are around there that when the children are playing around, they may not get into a ditch or anything like that. See, and be careful also, because in the rural areas we may say that there's no danger of thefts and so many other filthy things that people do to those who have come from the urban areas. Mostly those who are in the rural areas, they tend to believe that those who are in town have gone back home with a lot of money, and they have to be dealt with, you see. So there have some bad characters, some gangsters, and so on. It is not only in the towns that we have gangsters, thieves, and many distractions here and there. It is also in the rural areas as well. So if you go home, you go to relax at home in your rural area, you may think that, okay, now I'm in my place where I was born and I feel so free that sometimes you just leave your door open like that. My friend, you might be surprised that even your phone is not there anymore, because they know that you're now around, and they know that you have now come with a lot of money, and they know you have plenty always, you see. So keep on being careful. On the sides of our children, they may want to see so many things. They want to go to the rivers, they want to go to swim in the rivers that they're not used to. Maybe in town they are swimming in the swimming pools whereby they're monitored well, and they now want to walk around and see the village. They want to go places. They are overexcited and relaxed, you see. But be careful that when they are going to such places, you go with them, or either have some people whom you really trust to take them to those places, like going even to the marketplaces. Don't let them go alone. They're not used to the idle roads. You know, most of the roads in the rural areas are very idle. They don't have many vehicles or many motorbikes passing by. So when somebody is on the road, you might find yourself that you are the only person in that road. You walk some miles is when you meet another person. So sometimes it's not so safe. On those kind of things, you try to be cautious about that as well. Yeah, in the rural areas also, um, you might be not getting the markets might be very far. Sometimes the things like the hospitals, if there is any need of going to the hospital, it is sometimes hectic to reach the hospital very urgently. So you just try keep off from things that might make you run to the hospital very fast, because in most cases in the towns we are near almost everything. You walk outside your house, you are meeting you are already at the road. You just walk again some few minutes, you are seeing the hospitals around. You are seeing almost everything that we might need, you see. You can reach the market very fast, and we also have a lot of motorbikes that are trying to ferry us to the most places where we want to go. So try to buy some stock of food so that you keep your children happy when they are in the holidays in the rural areas, rural homes. And back in the town, there are some of us who have not gone to the rural areas. You are just back at home. You are just still in the town. And this is the time, that is the season for those people who are doing bad things to the others also. Be careful, come back home earlier enough, protect yourself. You are the person, the security starts with you, your mind, your behavior, and whatever surrounds you. So it is you to start with your security, is when someone else might come in as well. So if you are not worried about your security, you might find yourself getting into problems even in the town areas, because this is the time for those guys down there also to steal. I'm not afraid to say that, to steal or to grab anything that belongs to you, because that's the way they do it. They get most of their things through grabbing it from you forcefully. So you need to be a little bit careful, even if you don't go to the rural areas for the holidays. If you're staying back in the town, also just take care of yourself as you continue taking care of our children. I'm repeating this. I did my live, talked about something of the security of our children. I just talked just something little about it, but it is deeper than what I talked about. If you go to my live that I did yesterday, you'll see what I was trying, the message that I was trying to convey, but it's a little bit deeper than that. Yes, children feel that they are now relaxed. They feel that they have all the freedom to do everything that you want. If you want to see that thing, just walk out where the children are playing and see the somersaults that they are throwing. And they feel that it's no longer waking up so early in the morning, preparing yourself and going to school. It's now time that you wake up at the time you want and do the things that you want, you see. But it is still our responsibility as parents to check on how the movements of our children, even during the holidays, even if they are back at home. We check on their movements and at least engage them in a talk. Sometimes you sit together with your children, talk to them, and at least try to tell them that when you do this, it causes you this afterwards. You see, so that they can at least also try. You help one another, and it starts with you as a parent in the home, in the house, so that someone else, any other parent out or any other guardian somewhere, will also come in if you have also done your part as a parent first in your house here. On the side of food, you know, especially when our children are going to school, mostly they take their lunch during their lunch break. They're in schools. Maybe the school has organized how they take their food, their lunch there, and maybe or they have a canteen there. So mostly they don't take during lunch break. They are in school, but this is the time now that they are back at home. They are with you at home, and maybe you have not organized yourself enough to put plenty of food that will keep them not to move around. You see, any extra money, any extra pocket money that they might be having, they can be using it in just walking around and buying things that does not fill their stomach. So they keep on being hungry all the time, and they feel that they need to move around, and they could be going to the neighbors' places to check on what they have cooked there. So if your children are doing that already, it is some failure as a parent, because you need to arrange yourself, even if it is so difficult, but you need to arrange yourself so well so that you have plenty of food at home, so the children do not go to find out something that is cooked in another house, you see. So those are some small tips that I have for you today concerning how you need to take care of yourself during this festive season, so that we finish up with it well, and our children goes back to school when they will go back to school when they are fat. They have put on some weight just because of how you will take care of them. They will be playing a lot, and they need to also eat well. So for the parents, for the mothers in the house or dads in the house, what I need to advise you about is that if it is possible, just put some stock in the house. Like you can buy rice, some 20 kgs of rice or 50 kgs of rice, put it in the kitchen to give easy time for the house manager to be having something to cook for them when you are away, because some of us are going to work when the children are back at home, and you don't know what is happening back at home. You try to organize your house through the phone by talking to your children also, or talking to the house manager. You can buy some very important things like charcoal. You just put on one sack of a charcoal there, put some cereals there, like beans, some pieces, and so on. And you have enough oil that even if you are far and you are at work, the operation in the kitchen is going on well. Yes. So on the side of food, I think we have tackled on the side of food, on the side of security, outside and inside the house. Inside our houses, we use electricity to cook. Some of us, we use gas, we use charcoal, we use paraffin is no longer used so much. So for those you know that you have children who have been playing around, who had the security in school, but now the security is supposed to be here at home, and who is putting this security? It is you. Remember that all the things that you feel should not be, the children should not reach dangerous things that are in the house. Keep them safe, the medicine, and so on and so on, because they are going to stay at home the longest period, almost 3 months with us. So that is my message to you today, and I hope at least you have learned something. I've reminded you of something. I know that you already know all these things because you are an adult. Like if you are a mom, if you are a mom to be, or if you are preparing yourself to be a mother, these are the things that are there for us as moms. So prepare yourself that you have a responsibility, and it is just a call from God that you take good care of the people whom God has given to you as a family. Thank you so much. I'm seeing you again in the next episode of how you can keep yourself safe during festive holidays, both in the rural areas and in the urban areas. Thank you so much. I love you, and I'm seeing you again in my next video. I'm saying goodbye.